Joe, great to talk to you. But first, can you just explain why you're talking to us and not Frank?
Yeah, I'm here because Frank was sent off, which I was just informed of when we came in off the pitch. So I was down by the benches over in the far corner when Frank was over near the ref. Frank's received the red card, so I don't know exactly what for, to be honest, because I've come to do this. But yeah, obviously there was a bit of frustration from everyone in the stadium in the second half, and it's boiled over. And Frank's been punished, so the last thing I'm going to do is get punished myself as well now by speaking too much.
All right, so I'll just ask you one thing on that then. Was there a feeling that perhaps the referee wasn't strong enough in dealing with Burnley?
I don't know if it's anything to do with the referee dealing with Burnley in particular, but obviously there was just a lot of decisions going in the game. The game was getting broken up quite a lot, and it speaks for itself, the reaction of the players, the reaction of the whole stadium. It was just a lot of frustration.
On the game itself, I mean, your team did everything to try and get something out of it, didn't they?
Yeah, we did, and I've just said it's obviously a dressing room now that there's a lot of disappointment, there's frustration in there. That word we'll keep talking about, which is a good thing, because it means you feel like you should have got more out of the game, which is always a plus, because it's not always the case. Sometimes when you play against these top teams that are up the top end of the table, the game can be done by the 70-minute mark. So it's a good thing, but there's a lot of disappointment in there now based around the result, because the way we've progressed and the way we've been playing recently, we had every belief that we can beat the likes of Burnley. But yeah, we haven't been able to do that. But so much in the game and how Burnley will leave the CBS today, knowing the challenge they've felt, there's an awful lot to be positive about for sure.
I mean, given the reputation Burnley's defence had come into this game, not only did you score in the first half, but you created quite a few chances, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's obviously the nice balance that we've got, that when we play against teams that aren't as aggressive and sort of let us have the ball, we've got players that can be composed in build-up. But then when you play against Burnley's, who are one of the more dominant sides in the league, that when the game started they had a bit of the ball themselves, we've got that threat that even when we are having less of the ball and less possession, with the likes of Hadji and Jack Radoni and Efron and Tatsu in the front line, any mistake they make and any sniff they give us, we can take the opportunity, and obviously we were able to do that. And then there was more of the same, which always kept them guessing. You know, for a team that's so far ahead of us in terms of points and been up there all season, I'm sure they wouldn't have felt any sort of comfort at any point in the game today, and we just have to keep taking belief from that. Clearly
the killer blow came with a goal just at the start of the second half. How did you read that?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's obviously so early in the second half, and there's a mix-up at the back, and it's a mistake, which is clear. And it's just unfortunate that when you've got two teams like us and Burnley that are as well drilled and well organised and defend with as much sort of discipline and work rate as both of us do, sometimes mistakes do decide these games. The big thing is, particularly from moving forward between now and the end of the season, when you see a mistake like that and you concede a goal against the Burnley, who you know the stats will tell you they're capable of then shutting up shop and maybe not conceding, the big marker is what's the reaction going to be like. And that was the positive for us, because we completely bounced back from it immediately, took control of the game again. And then, you know, for the remaining 30 minutes of the game, a lot of it's played in Burnley's half, and we were knocking on the door. So we responded, and you can't really ask for much more than that.
Was it a joint responsibility between Brad Collins and Liam Kitching, would you say?
Yeah, I think, you know, the progress we've made as a team defensively, you give everyone credit for it, the back line, the goalkeepers. I think you do the same when we make mistakes, and it's a mix-up. And unfortunately, particularly for Brad as the goalkeeper, it's par for the course that when the ball goes in the net and mistakes are made, people scrutinise you. But Brad's a strong character, and he's got all the support he needs from that dressing room. That it's not a big deal at all from our point of view.
So you're confident you can deal with it, because potentially it's a tough one on him, isn't it? Having just come back into the side to replace Oliver.
Yeah, well, firstly, I don't look at it and go it's an out-and-out Brad Collins error. But secondly, I'm confident in Brad's ability to react to it, because coming on at Bramall Lane, having not played in a long time, is not easy. And he stepped straight in last week and put in a solid performance, showed composure immediately. And again today, that's happened in the 45th, 46th minute, and for the remainder of the game was sound, made saves and was good in our build-up. So all good from our point of view.
And how the team reacts now, got a midweek game against Portsmouth. You're talking very positively about it. Are you expecting a positive reaction?
For sure. As I said, I think we had every belief that we could beat Burnley today, one of the top sides, which we haven't done yet this season, but I think you could see in the way we approached the game that we had the belief. We haven't done it. We have to take perspective that Burnley, Sheffield United and Leeds have beaten so many teams this season. So anyone that tells us we've lost back-to-back games now and wants to kind of make a drama of it, it's certainly no drama for us. There's perspective, but there's also so much positive that the performance we put in there, the levels we've put in there at the CBS today, you know, not many come here and deal with that easily. So it's that one's done. It's not 7 games left or 6 games left. It's just Portsmouth, and for how we've performed for a lot of the time that we've been here this season, we've got every reason to be confident.
And as Frank's number 2, do you have a role now to play in terms of supporting Frank after what's happened in this game?
Frank doesn't need any support in this game, no, all good.
You might be having to leave the dugout though against Portsmouth, but obviously you're used to doing that, having been the number 1 yourself.
Yeah, as I said, no problem, we're all good, that's my job, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I guess a tough one to take. We've just been talking to Joe Edwards, he's certainly accentuating the positives, but obviously frustrated by the result.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple of tough fixtures back to back. Disappointed with the result. Didn't think there was loads in the game, to be honest. Obviously, just a couple of mistakes from ourselves. We got punished. That's what good teams do to you.
Obviously, the mistake for the second goal. How does the team react to that?
It's football. At the end of the day, it's just like things happen, and you can see goals in all manner of ways between now and the end of the season. We'll most likely concede another freak goal like that, and you get on with it. You pick your head up, keep your chest out, and crack on. It's part and parcel of being a footballer.
You must feel you didn't really leave much out there at the end of the games. You really did give it your all, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, and that's the bare minimum we expect from ourselves, especially at home with the crowd behind us like they are. And another day I think could go either way.
And I guess the first goal you disappointed personally.
Yeah, it was obviously my mistake that led to it. But like I say, it's part and parcel of the game. You keep trying to do the right thing, and as a team, hopefully we'll get there. And
Burnley, I don't think they conceded 2 to any team this season in the Championship. You're pretty unlucky not to put that right. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we gave it everything. We kept pressure on, I thought, in the second half especially, and yeah, we had to try and get ourselves back in the game, and they defended well in the end.
There was a lot of frustration. You could hear it in the stands, you could see it on the pitch with the referee. I don't want to get you into trouble, but were you getting frustrated by the way the game has been handled?
All I'll say on it is we felt exactly the same as the 30,000 people in the stadium.
Yeah.
Or maybe not so much their side, but...
and you've got a midweek game against Portsmouth now, so reacting, does this put a little bit of pressure on that game, these 2 defeats?
I think there's massive pressure on every game, not just the 2 defeats that we've had. I think we've lost 4 in the last 14 games, I think, and 3 of those have been against the top 3, so I don't think there's any disgrace in that. We've give everyone a good game, and yeah, we're just like any game that we lose, we'll just be looking to bounce back.
Do you feel if you play the way you did today, between now and the end of the season, you'll be okay?
I think if we play the way we have been playing in the last 10-15 games, I think we'll be more than fine. But like I said, it's just ticking them off as they come.
And are you enjoying it personally since you arrived?
Yeah, absolutely loving it. It's a great group. It's a fantastic club with a brilliant fan base. So yeah.